This is also in your test, Simon Lamed Hey, Sif Zayin to test, day 193 of the supplemental Arukh HaShulhan Yomi series. And today's Arukh HaShulhan is sponsored by Rabbi Yonasan Ezra Ben Chana Feigel, Shvius from finding a Zibuk Hagun, Bekorov Mamish. And today we're talking about the lung, and I left my Sichas Chulin at home. I'm away from home, as you can tell from the background, but we hopefully will be able to make do. So Tmunas Hareach Zayin, Tmunas Hareach Kachu, this is what a lung looks like. Kishtei Arugos has like two patches, two sides. Yesh Chamisha Unos, Shtei Umos. There's 5 Unos and 2 Umos. Now in English they don't differentiate between them. They're all called lobes or parts, and it has the 5 Unos are on top. You can see 2 on the left and 3 on the right, and 2 umos are on the bottom, right? The basal lobes, one on each side. So some of these things are called parts, some of them are called lobes. For our purposes, we don't make a distinction. So he says, Yesh Chamisha Unos, V'shtei Umos Gedalos. 5 smaller lobes and 2 larger lobes. We're just kind of saying that umos. The unos are the smaller relative to umos. Okay, Elo Shtaim Yikru Umos. And therefore these 2 are called umos, k'mo ha'em, like mothers. They're called basal lobes. Shehi ikaris, which is primary. Unos in Lashon ozen, it's like an ear. Shein was 9, like ears on the face. Elo unos ein shtaim mitzad echod shlosha mitzad sheni. There are 2 on one side, 3 on the other side. Ketzad. Also, when you hang the animal by its legs, and its face faces the face of the person checking it. I guess in a way, I guess that you're hanging in a way that the right side of the animal, the right side of the checker are the same. Unos. On the right side, there are the 3 unos, right? The cranial part, the caudal part, and the middle lobe. The uma is on top because it's hanging down the animal, so therefore it's uma's on top of relative to the position of the animal at the moment. V'unas muchalai ha'gedolah shebunos nikris arukha v'ava. The next one, the middle lobe is called the long lobe or the thick lobe. Una tachtona, you can also call it the lower lobe. Shaboidek oches, when the checker is holding on to the kona, that was holding on to the top here, right? Benovcha, and he's blowing it up. So then obviously the uma's at the bottom, not the top. Then with the part which is uppermost, when it's hanging by its legs, not so tachton becomes the lower part, obviously. But the second one is called nikra umam tzais, which gets confusing here because here this is called the middle lobe, right? But it's not in halacha. This would be the caudal part would call the middle lobe in halacha, right? Ashlishis shatachton, and the third, which is now on the bottom. Nasa Salyona would become the top one. Kshinupa become when you blow by up by the trachea. The grace una smuchla gargaris. It's called the una, which is adjacent to the trachea. It goes around the gargaris. Oh, not in this picture here. It's called the cranial part. As a result of going wrapping around the trachea, so occasionally it splits off, as we shall see. Side small on the left side, the mala on top, again when it's hanging down, is the uma. It's larger than the uma on the right side. The left basal lobe is larger. V'tachtan below yesh unos, the 2 unos achas smuchel uma, one is adjacent to uma, v'sheni is smuchel, one is adjacent to the trachea. Again, the caudal part and the cranial part, right? They're both in English called the same thing, just on the different sides. uh, again, תחתיה שתי תשונות, שמאל אומה, ואחר שתי שמאל גרגס, בקטנים משל צד ימין השמאל גרגס, it's smaller than the right, the left one is smaller than the right one, the one which is next to the trachea. Then the sides that there's a small una, which is called, which is small, which the Anissa de Varda. The Anissa de Varda, it's I'm not sure he's going to explain why it's called that way, but I think it looks like a rose, like a very up. That is the movement side yameen with side shalosh unos usually is on the right side. That's here called the access lobe. Right, the mitzad shalosh ve'eno meant to say unos. It's not together with the other ones. Other lobes and muchachas mitzad pnim. It's more towards the inside. B'shchayes but keeps it as its own pocket. Yeah, it's more clear. Okay, you have the right side with the larger, the right side with the larger unos, and the left side, and the Ananisa Varda there in the middle. Okay, Amar Rav Chamesh Onos Islu L'Reid has 5 lobes. If they are more than that or less than that, or they are changed sides of trefa. So it's not like Rabba if it has an extra lobe. That's more than that. We shall see. If it's missing a lobe or they're exchanged in their places, he looks like a bus. It looks like him. The lake of Madden, by the way, nobody argues that. That's Rashi. Chaser Kate said was in Chaser Nechsor Chasmin Unos. If one was missing a feeling, but Yesh Chamish Unos, even though altogether are 5 Unos. Sheesh Arba Bria means that there are 4 on the right, Achasima 1 left, or Shesh Tamim, or 2 on the left, and 3 on the left, 2 on the right. Trafe, but trafe. It's a shock. So it goes Dafka Shlosh Bein, it's so it means simply 2 on the right and 3 on left. The other way around. 3 on the right and 2 on the left. But for the Shlosh is still on the time, Yamin, Zil Khalif. Besides, I mean, it's also exchanged. Which is why exchange means there's more left and on the right. Therefore, even the 3 on the right, in the small yesh arba, on the left are 4, it's considered to be exchanged and trade for and trade. Sheesh, shave b'shave, because there's equal amount share, it's okay. Which is why it says to have seafood up, iron chop, as we will clarify later on. Test, cuts Rabbi and mother, right, Sipav. Source Unushamin ain't a dumb shell small. The way they look is not the same. These scraps the way they look is exchanged from right to left, it's trade. So too, where the middle una on the right side is larger than the lower una, I'm going to tell you about the smaller lobes, it's trade. If the large, if the left upper una is greater than the size of the upper una on the right, it's straight. So too, if the right hand umma, the mem, is larger than the one on the left, all this is called exchanged, the treifa, switched, treifa, but these are only chumras. The b'shas ain't cloud tzuras unas almost doesn't say anything in the shas about the form that the unas and umas are a thing. But shas lokam, the shas doesn't say anything. Rakli the mispar must accept about the amount, the number. See, I'm shloimim. Part of the lesson when I make a lehefsid. Somebody is meko because of substantial loss, he doesn't lose. It's the shibach and the shach and the taz. Some people say it's also kind of the minhag. Let me stop again. It doesn't make sense to say that my minhag on mikra cholik is the same minhag, which is a very rare occasion. It's clear that substantial loss is not answer. And certainly, if the unas themselves are not in their normal manner, such as that normally the unos are drawn and are it's kind of sharp at the end. This one's round, one should be long and I guess conical, maybe the word. I'm not sure. No, not necessarily. So the if they're and this one's round like the Varda, they ain't less so we don't have to ask for it. It's real short. I feel that's a move, even there's not a substantial loss. Ain't less if trades don't add to trades. Mash ain't no more if it's not explicit more. Now, If directly the umos and unos are interchanged, the lower two, the basal lobes with the other lobes, so then the nachon lachmir, that's properly make umatei machmir. Zel because it's stringent. The zel kol ikarei mishuna. Here, the entire lung is strange, so therefore it's not good, not appropriate, and we'll stop here for today.